Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another Mixed Media Mayhem layout for you guys today, and I am also using my Kit Conspiracy kit. This is the lift that I will be doing by Julie Taylor. It was chosen by our very own Kathy. So I'm going to use these sparkle thickers from Chamel. Oh my gosh, a lot of names I'm dropping here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the word love or smile just yet, but I have two stencils that I would like to use to try to create my background. The first one is this hash stencil. I received this as a gift, so I'm not really sure exactly where that is from. And then I have this butterfly stencil, which again, I'm not sure where this one is from either. I apologize about both of those. So I'm going to try to use my huge Cricut spatula. It's more like a scraping tool with this Nouveau Glacier paste in Winter White. And then I have a full-size jar and then a micro jar that I get from my Tonic Studios craft kit. And I'm just going to take that smaller jar, if it's still good, and put it in the big jar. Now, I also have this crackle paste in Water Nymph. I love this color, but it looks a little dried out, so we're going to see. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to use this turquoise stencil butter, which I know is going to be just like butter. I also have this cut out butterfly that I'm going to see if it's going to work. And then this dark aqua color, I think it's called turquoise, to be honest, I think it's named turquoise, that I'm going to use to back my photos, and then this white piece of cardstock for my photo mat. And then I've got 3 photos that I'm going to narrow it down to 2 once I decide what my photos are going to be. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is trim down my photos. I decided on the farther away up the path photos of my family walking away from my husband and I, instead of the more closer one, because I wanted it to be a little bit smaller than the photo of my husband and me. So I wanted to cut them down so that way I knew where to put my first butterfly. And then once I knew where to put my first butterfly, the second and third butterfly just seemed to have a place of their own. Like they already knew where they were going to be. It's just after the first one, right? So the glacier paste was absolutely just fine. So I went ahead and I mixed it in with the full-size bottle. Now, both of these bottles I received in my Tonic Studios craft kit, not at the same time, but down the road I received one and then the other. Now I am trying to use my larger palette knife, aka my Cricut scraper here, because I wanted to get a larger area, like one swipe and I'm done. Well, that didn't work out, and I ended up needing to pull out this palette knife anyways. So I went ahead and did the half butterflies with the palette knife, and it seemed to work out 10 times better than trying to scrape it all, like a one and done. So yeah, I really wasn't sure. I definitely didn't want the butterflies to be the star of the show. So I wanted to, that's why I'm doing them in white, but the glacier part of the paste makes them a little bit on the silver side. So I really liked how this is looking. And then the crackle mousse was beautiful. It worked, but it's a little on the thick side. So I do have to do a smaller palette knife. My longer one was just a little too weak. And if you notice, I have to put my hand behind this because even this smaller one was a little too weak to put. The paste was really thick, is what I'm trying to say. But it wasn't hard as a rock either. It turned out great, to be honest. And I loved the lighter color. However, long story short, I don't do enough. Look at that. My photos are going to cover up exactly where I placed it, which I in a way I already knew. That's why I was putting my photos down like, no, that's not enough. But I didn't want it to be too much. In the sketch, she's just got a little bit, but then again, her photos almost look like 2x2s, so they're tiny. And then I stuck my hand over here on the left, so I went ahead and decided, I guess I'm putting an embellishment there, so might as well. All right, so I also pulled out some Shimmers sprays, Love Ocean number 9 and Jenny B Blue, because I'm going to do some splattering. I noticed in the background of Julie's layout that she has a bunch of splattering. Now her splattering definitely looks like it's paint or stamped. I don't really know the answer to that. So I'm just going to go ahead and splatter, splatter, splatter until my heart's content, but still trying to keep that line of in the middle, minus my little splooge that I did over on the left, which I'm going to purposely now splatter all over. Well, when I got to the Jenny B blue, it's like, I want more splatters. I don't care if it goes from edge to edge or not. At this point, I'm okay. I just want more splatters. So I went ahead and splattered. Now, the difference between Jenny B blue and the Love Ocean number 9 is just the tone of blue. So the Jenny B blue is a little bit more on the blue side, where the Love Ocean is a little bit more of the aqua side. So I can tell the difference, but maybe not in the picture, maybe in the close-ups, you guys will be able to see it as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this paper down to 4 inches. So that way I can get a photo mat for each one. Well, then I decided I wanted to double mat it just like Julie did. So I'm going to use the darker side for my 4 inches going around, actually I'm going to trim my photo down to 3 3/4 square. And then my dark teal is going to be 3 7/8. And then this one on the other side, which is kind of white and kind of got that teal, that's going to be the 4 inches. So I trimmed them all down, and then I decided to do the same thing with my path photo. And then I ended up with just 1 square. Well, here I'm trying to see if I can gut it out. Yeah, no. I only left myself 1/8 of an inch. I'm not that good. So off camera, I will cut another square to go behind it. So I'm going to trim this one down, go ahead and scuff up the edges behind all 4 of the photo mats, and then get them all glued together. But I'm not going to make you watch it because it's the same thing 4 times. Yeah, nope. That's a little on the boring side. So sorry about that. So there are my photos and the ever so slightly wonky photo mats. Now it's just barely visible that they are wonky, but I am okay with that. Now this layout definitely takes a different turn, definitely gets a lot of layers, because what I ended up doing, and I saved you guys from watching me do that as well, I thought I would use my scraps and they didn't end up working. So what I end up doing is going through all of these tiny little jars that never seem to get a little lighter on the embellishments. They just never seem to go away. There's still a ton in there, and this is my last layout. How are they multiplying? I don't understand this. I've used them. You've watched me use them. 6 days in a row I've used them, and they just still have not gotten any skimpier. So anyways, I went through and pulled out all of my aquas, lights, darks, all of them. And I decided that I was going to use all of them. That's my plan anyways. So let's see if I can make that happen. I took this dark blue. It is on the bluer side, but I'm going to use that as the top and the bottom of my layout, where Julie has like little scallops. So I'm going to use those. At first I thought I was going to use the rub-ons, and then I thought, if I was going to do that, I should have done that first behind all of this paste. Then I was looking at it and thinking, it really doesn't match the layout that I am envisioning. It doesn't match the butterflies and the hashtags or the hashes. So yeah, I opted not to do those giant rub-ons. So I'm going to have a film strip in my photo clusters, which they end up being one large cluster by the time that I'm done. I do end up scooching them closer, because I just feel like that aqua color of, what's it called? Texture paste isn't seen. I end up covering it up like entirely. Ugh. That's all I have to say. Ugh. So yeah, I do end up with a film strip down at the bottom, film strip up at the top. And basically what I do at the bottom, I'm going to mimic up at the top. And my bottom cluster is going to be over on the right. My upper cluster is going to be over on the left. So, because that's how Julie's, it kind of starts over on the left and zigzags its way down the page until it meets the right side of her bottom cluster. And so I just was trying to do that as well, but my photos end up becoming close together and becoming one cluster. And Julie's is technically two, because of the title being in the middle of her photos, but they are on the smaller side. So if I had 2x2 photos or even 3x3 photos, I'm thinking I probably could have gotten the same effect. But I like larger photos. I really do on my layouts. And so it does hinder when it comes to, how much mixed media I can have on my page, because the photos are going to cover it all up. So just to let you guys know, especially when it came to all these butterflies, but I love the little splatter of the bottom, the upper butterfly splatter that's coming from the bottom of the wing going down into my next butterfly. That is so cool. And I probably would have never gotten that effect, had I not used I don't know. I never planned it that way, but it's so cool looking in the end. So I'm happy with the way that it looks and the sparkle and shine on this layout, and it matches the acetate too. So, how the acetate is glossy in one way of light and can be seen on the next. I'm super stoked to get 2 of these little ring words on my layout. Now, before, when I started using them, I was skimping and saving and cutting them in half so I could use them in 2 different places. At this point, I'm like, I'm going to use the whole circle. I'm done with this. I'm over it. I really am. And I also tried to save having you guys watch me re-glue everything down. Basically, where it's at is where it's pretty close to staying. And I didn't want to make you guys watch me have to glue everything down now that it's in place. So, but there are some spots where, like shortly after here, I add some butterflies. And so if I would have fast forwarded through the gluing, I would have missed the butterflies, and it would have been a very choppy film, or recording, I should say. So there are some places where I leave it in, but I do look at all these butterflies, you guys. Oh, my stars. I am so butterflied out. It's ridiculous. And I have butterflies for next week too. Can we be done with butterflies? Is there another icon that we can use outside of a butterfly? Anything. Hearts and butterflies. I'm all hearted out. I'm all butterflied out. Yes. So that is one thing I do enjoy about 49 and Market. They don't use a whole lot of hearts. They do on occasion, but not all the time, like Simple Stories. But yeah, it's stars. Give me stars. Yeah, but I don't do dragonflies. We can do dragonflies too. That would be cool. Yeah, I'm just saying. Actually, I think on my next kit, it's moths. I'm not sure if they're butterflies or not. I'll have to double check. Moths are worse because I don't, yeah, do they have to go on a specific layout? I'm just asking for a friend. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put a tiny word saying down in the bottom cluster. And I don't put one, I put a circle word. It's not ish, it is a circle up in the upper cluster because the words are only printed in one direction. And they're rough, they're scuffed up. So like they're jagged at the top of the word and straight at the bottom of the word. So if I would have put it in the upper cluster, it would have looked weird because it would have been upside down in my brain. So yeah, it just would have looked really weird. So I went with a little circle chipboard piece that I found, and now I'm just tucking. I'm tucking in these flowers, which I think are pansies. I'm tucking in some butterflies. I'm tucking in just all the things. Now, I did decide not to bring in any of those. I picked out tickets and postage stamps and all that stuff. I decided not to bring those in. The flowers and the butterflies and the leaves are just fine enough because we're outside. We're not on a train or a plane or an automobile. So the tickets really don't speak to me as much as the flora and the fauna did. And then from Pebbles, I pulled out these tile alphas to finish my title, and it just says makes me, and then I'm going to end up using the word smile because I found this saying up here that says love, I think it's love this, oh no, it says, oh golly, now I can't even remember what it says, but it goes with, it's almost like a sub saying to my title. Life with you is amazing is what it says. And then of course, my title is makes me smile. So I think in my brain, it worked out better than if I would have used the word love. So yeah, I definitely, I could have done love this life, or something else to that effect. But yeah, I just really liked the makes me smile, because it does. Watching watching my family go exploring makes me smile. The fact that that our relatives love doing this as well makes me smile. I mean, it's just so fun that we can go anywhere and still, be able to just go exploring, and it's just so much fun. It really is. And I'm glad that, the whole family loves doing it. My side, his side, they all do love doing it. And it makes my heart happy. That's what it is. And I think that says is my heart is happy down at the bottom. So anyways, that is my layout. I love it. I love how it comes out. I got a ton of embellishments, even though you can't tell from my bowls and my cups and my jars. You can't tell that I used anything, but I used a ton of embellishments on all 6 layouts. Because I tried my hardest to kill this kit, and it was not happening. I still have paper left. I still have embellishments left, but I'm okay with that. They're very usable pieces, and they're more on the color side. So they're not really themey. I can use them anywhere. I can add them to almost any one of my category bins, and it'll still work. So anyways, be sure to check out everyone down below who is playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem. Thank you, Kathy, for picking this sketch by Julie Taylor. I absolutely had a blast recreating it. I didn't realize that she stitched on her layout until after I was looking at it a little bit more closely, but I'm okay. I loved combining the stencils, and definitely this is my first time ever doing the 2 paste type of deal. So if you're interested in any more Mixed Media Mayhem videos from me, here are 2 more. And thank you so much for watching, and I will check y'all later. Bye!